Well, Matt just been saying off screen that it's unusual at this stage of the season to be doing an interview sort of leading up to a game with the not having been a game for about 10 days beforehand. Has it been a worthwhile break? Do you think it's benefited at this stage of the season, or would you rather have been playing?
Yeah, probably a bit of both, to be honest. On one hand, you're happy for maybe a little bit of a downtime, a little bit of a break before for the 9 big games and the home stretch, if you like. But on the flip side, a disappointing result against Grimsby, and you quickly want to get back out onto the pitch and rectify it. So you can look at it both ways. But no, we've worked really hard in training, and as I say, we're in the home straight now. 9 massive games, starting with Mansfield obviously on Saturday, and a lot of the teams we're playing are in and around us. Mansfield being one place above us, and they're the games you want to be involved in at this stage of the season, and we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, just mentioning Grimsby, I know it's a while ago now we went down, but I know you watched their game. They were playing Mansfield last night, and I know you watched that game, and I think possibly people have underestimated how good Grimsby are as sort of at the moment. They were good against us, and gather they were good last night as well.
Good side, and a really good side, and with really good players. They're very well organised and hard to beat. And of course, it was a disappointing result for us against Grimsby. A bit of a flat night for us, an uncharacteristic goal, a disappointing performance both individually and as a team for many players, and it was just an off night for us. But it's our first defeat in 10 against a team who will comfortably be mid-table, comfortably be maybe even a top half team the way they're going, and quarter-finalists of the FA Cup, and you know, we're all gutted that we've gone and lost 1-0 to them, and the first goal was key, as it is in every game. And unfortunately, it didn't go our way, and then we found it really difficult on the night to create much, break them down, and get something out of the game. So, as we've said, with every team, there is no easy games, and Grimsby certainly proved that on Tuesday night when we last played.
Turning to Saturday against Mansfield, you've touched on it already. The two sides closest to the playoff positions, and I guess a neutral looking at the league table might think that both sides will feel it's a game they really need to win to avoid just being not necessarily cut off from the teams above them, but the beginning to look as though there's a little bit of a gap to then get into that playoff area. Yeah,
it's still time. There's still, it's not the be all and end all for either side on Saturday, but it is a big game, and two teams who have really put them in this position to try and get into that playoff spot. Mansfield, the losing finalists last year, will certainly want to be playoffs at least again this season. And with us so narrowly missing out last year, and really putting ourselves in the reckoning with 9-10 to go. So it's a big game for both clubs, but they all are at this stage of the season, as we know. But it's certainly not make or break on Saturday, but a win for either side would be massive for them.
And Mansfield, a side that generally, well, we've done very well against. They're one of the few sides we've played 3 and won 3 so far in League Two, but all tight games.
Of course, yeah, and a really good manager, hugely experienced, a really good side with some top players, a good ground to go and play. They've got good atmosphere there at Mansfield. So it all sets up for the two teams and the stage of the season and how closely matched the two teams are. It all sets up for a really good game. And we've managed to come out the right side of it the last 3 games, and hopefully we can just make it 4 and get back to winning ways after the Grimsby game.
And last season's 3-2 win up there. Again, it was about this time of the season, just a little bit later, but one of the high spots of the away performances of the season.
Yeah, a really good performance from us, and some really good goals we created and scored there, and a top away performance from us. A disappointing own goal from Ben Goodliff, an unfortunate one to bring him back to 2-1 later on in the game. An instant reply from us with Richie Bennett to make it 3-1. And then a deflected goal in injury time, which made it probably a little hairy minute or two to try and see the win out. But a thoroughly deserved victory up there, and it was certainly one of our best away performances of last season. So it's a ground we know, and we know what we're going into face. And as I say, we're spirits were really high even after the one defeat in 10 and the last defeat, if you like. As always, this group of players bounces straight back into training. Really good tempo, energy, great enthusiasm amongst the group, and as a team and as a squad and as a club, we're really looking forward to the challenge on Saturday.
Well, because we concentrate on our own performance. When you look at Mansfield, it's got Danny Johnson back from his loan at Walsall, and you get the feeling, again, an observer would look at him and Rhys Oates as 2 strikers. That's a one of the more menacing striking partnerships that you probably come up against in League Two.
And it's not the only two they've got either. So they've got real good firepower within their squad. Whether those two play together or not, I'm not sure. But we'll soon see on Saturday. And as I say, they've got good players all over the pitch. And they're a really good side for this division, and certainly someone who's going to be there or thereabouts as they were last year. But hopefully we can be a match for at least for them, because I believe we're a good side as well, and we've been on some run as well. So 3 defeats in 19. We certainly respect everyone, but we don't fear anyone either, and it'll be a really good game for us on Saturday.
Has the break over 10 days given some of the players who've been missing out through injury in the last few weeks a chance to get fit and come into contention?
Yeah, there's some nearing and getting closer. So yeah, I won't give too much away at the moment, but yeah, we've got players who are certainly back out on the training pitches and making themselves available for selection.
And presumably with no games in 10 days, things haven't gone too badly off the pitch as well, and should be a fairly full squad to be able to choose from.
Yeah, we've picked up a couple of little bits this week, but I'm not going to again divulge too much information. That will soon come out when our squad gets announced on the weekend. Still a few question marks actually of what we've picked up and an illness or two. So we'll see where we are, and as always, we'll pick the strongest team for the day and the strongest squad for the day. And what that looks like right this second just needs to be confirmed. We've still got 48 hours, so yeah, we'll see where we are. But as I say, regardless of the team and the squad, the lads and the spirits is superb, and everyone's who is fit is really raring to go, and I'm sure we'll put on another good performance for us. And
as we've touched on it again, we've had the break. We're now into the last month, 5 or 6 weeks of the season, and we are in a position that we are quite happy to be in, looking excitedly at what's going to happen over the last 9 games, which for the second season of Football League Club must give you great pleasure.
Yeah, it certainly does. And as we all know, and we've spoken about several times, the first half of the season, the sticky spell that we went through, and the reasons why, and the amount of injuries that we had, and different factors. But we've really come out of that, as always, really fighting, and probably since late November, we'd arguably be one of the top teams in the division. So we've been on a really good run, and then with 9 games to go, and like you say, probably 6 weeks to go. We really just want to keep that form going, keep winning games. Keep putting points on the board and see where it takes us. And we're very unfortunate to miss out last year with 76 points. But, we don't know what that tally is going to be to get in there. But all we can do is just concentrate on ourselves with all the big games that we've got coming up, and just try and post the best score we possibly can. And hopefully that's good enough this year.
And talking of the big games coming up, you'd said sort of that our last 4 home games would all be against sides that are currently in the top 5 or 6 of the table. It really sets up for I know we've got 2 away games first, but it sets up for an exciting time in the 4 remaining games at Sutton.
Yeah, it does. Some big clubs now. You just look at the 2 tough away games that we've got coming up now, Mansfield and Walsall, and then tease us up for the Easter weekend with Stockport at home and Bradford away. They're all games at this stage of the season that brilliant games to be involved in. We've got no pressure on us. These big clubs. In many ways, they've got to beat Sutton United, so the pressure isn't on us. We can go there full of confidence, with the pressure off, just to go and put in top performances. And hopefully, as you say, keep this run going that we've been going on.
The news come through today. Supporters coach is full going up to Mansfield, and quite a few, I suspect, will make their own way, because it's not one after Barrow a few weeks ago. It's almost a trip down the road to get to Mansfield, but it's going to be a good Sutton support at the one call on Saturday, and that'll be a big help as well.
And we've really noticed that, to be honest, in recent away games over the last few months, and obviously it's reflective of the performances we've been putting in as well. But our away following is really increasing as well as our home support now. So everything's so much positivity around the club, and the fan base is really growing, both home and away. So it certainly doesn't go unnoticed. The supporters that travel in their numbers and how loud they are. The staff and the players really appreciate it, and as you say, get this business end of the season. We're just really looking forward to hopefully as many supporters, both home and away, as possible, and we look forward to seeing all that travelling support up at Mansfield on Saturday.
Well, Matt, we always wish you a safe trip up to the Midlands, and catch up with you on Saturday, and all the best to you and the lads for Saturday.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, Tony.